Wait, what? Shadowrun Sixth Edition's been announced? God damn it! I literally just finished house ruling the addiction rules so that my character doesn't wither away and die from soy calf addiction. Ugh!
That's right, Catalyst Game Labs has announced work on the 6th edition of Shadowrun, and that its full release is going to be sometime around this August, right around Gen Con. That's only 3 months away. You barely have to wait at all, but it's even better than that. The 6th edition Quick Start rules, a trimmed down, simplified version of the rules, is being released sometime around mid-June, around Origins Game Fair. That's right around the corner. Now, while that's all well and good, I know that you all want to know now. And that's why I hacked into the Catalyst system and got myself a copy of the Quick Start rules so that I could give you, the players, the most important people, let's face it, an early look at what is going on with 6th edition. So, let's all just start here with an assessment of where we are. It's been 6 years, 3 core book printings, 8 primary rulebooks, 3 advanced rulebooks, 5 mission seasons, and about 80,000 million source books. And now we get to throw it all away to prepare for 6th edition. But seriously, I, for one, am ready. It's no secret that I've been critical of 5th edition's bloat and sort of what I view as an endless need to provide players with decision paralysis.
So wait, so this one does 6 physical damage with an accuracy of 5. This one does 5 damage with an accuracy of 6. Oh, but then this one holds 2 more bullets, and this one keeps me up to date every time Maria Mercurial posts a vlog. Oh, but it only takes flechette ammo.
And I get it, I really do. People really like the gear options and endless customizations. For a lot of players, that's the itch that Shadowrun is scratching. And I'm just ready personally to hit the reset button on that, wipe the slate clean, and be able to create a character without having to have a software engineering degree. So what do we know, and what have we gotten to see so far? I'm not gonna dive too deep into it in this video. I wanna make sure you guys get sort of a broad overview of what to expect in this next edition. I'll be making some future videos which are going to go much more in depth and detail into individual changes, so look for those. In fact, you could, subscribe and hit that little bell icon, click on that. That way you'll get notified every time I put a new video out. I know, shut up, Bobby, get to it. So the first big change is to limits. They're gone.
Limits are gone!
That's right, no more feeling guilty halfway through combat when you realize you've been forgetting to apply limits to all your rolls the whole time anyway. Just roll your dice and keep your hits. Bottom line, simplified. I like that it simplifies dice rolls and calculations, less bookkeeping, less things to keep track of. I'm a huge advocate of things like that. It has also been really interesting to see the downstream effects, like removing accuracy as a weapon stat and making it so that spells no longer have a force. What? Another big change, and probably the biggest change in Shadowrun 6th edition, is the new edge system.
Edge is different!
In 5th edition, edge was primarily an attribute that represented your character's luck stat. You usually only had a few points to spend over the course of an entire run or session, and so you hoarded it and spent it very carefully to gain a big advantage at an important moment, or to sort of save your hoop when you were about to give up the ghost. But not anymore. Edge has been completely revamped to be a very active currency system that represents the cumulative buildup of advantages that you've gained over an adversary or an opponent in some sort of conflict or opposition or deceit situation. The obvious example would be combat, but the edge system will be used in all sorts of situations like hacking, social scenes, or tracking and driving, just anytime you're pitted up against somebody else in one of those conflict situations. So, how does edge work? Well, at the beginning of every scene or isolated situation, you'll have your edge pool reset. Start over with an amount equal to your character's edge attribute. Now already this is different, right? As you're getting your edge pool refreshed way more frequently by doing it at the start of every combat or social situation, rather than only on every run like it is in 5th. As the scene or situation progresses, you will continue to gain more edge, and that's based on your relative advantage over your opponents at any given point in time. This might be from having a significantly higher attack rating versus your opponent's defense rating. Or maybe you have a height advantage, or you're wearing low light goggles when your opponent is sort of in a dark alley and they're not wearing low light goggles. There may even be qualities and augmentations that reward edge, different ways. Each combat turn, you and your opponents will try to vie for situational advantage over each other, slowly accumulating more and more edge that you can then spend. Edge has many uses, and it can be spent in chunks of 1 to 5 edge points at a time. These range from re-rolling a single die, or adding to your initiative value, or even healing damage in the middle of combat. Now, I'm just hitting on a very broad overview. My next video is going to specifically focus on edge and go into a much greater detail about how the system works. However, I do want to say that overall I like this change. I feel that it's much more active. It seems like it's going to make combat far more interesting. I'm going to be trying to sort of compete for tactical advantage over my opponents rather than, just standing and shooting out in the open until people are dead. Also, it does something that I think is amazing. It eliminates the need for situational modifiers in combat.
Modifiers eliminated!
And that was absolutely an intentional change. Like I said, you can hear more details in my next video all about the Edge system, or if you can't wait for that, you can listen to the latest episode of the Arcology podcast where me and Mr. Johnson interviewed Jason Hardy, the Shadowrun line developer. We talked to him all about the upcoming 6th edition, and we spent a lot of time talking about how the Edge system works in there. It's kind of a big change, folks. Anyway, speaking of combat, basically everything about combat is being streamlined.
Basically everything about combat is streamlined!
Initiative is no longer rolled on every combat turn. Every run rolls their initiative one time to determine turn order, and then you take one turn in order and keep rotating around for the entire duration of the whole combat encounter. No more re-rolling initiative constantly after every combat round is over. I know, before the street Sams out there blow a gasket, clenching their cyber fist and pumping and raising, or having a cyber aneurysm, you'll still have ways to take a bunch of cool actions in combat. The action economy system is getting sort of a rework. First, there are no more free actions. There will be major and minor actions. By default, everyone will be able to take one major action and 2 minor actions, but you'll be able to get additional minor actions per turn based on the number of initiative dice that you roll. So Street Sams, you'll have a lot of dice, probably because of your initiative being higher, and you'll get additional minor actions because of those extra dice. And you'll also have the option of converting 4 minor actions into a major action. So you can, in that way, get multiple attack actions in one of your combat turns. All you wired up cyber zombies out there, you will be able to take all of your cool John Woo combat tricks. Don't worry about that. Another cool change to combat is that weapon firing modes have been massively simplified. Firing in single shot mode does firearms base damage. It's simple as that. But firing in semi-automatic mode, what that does is shoots out 2 quick bullets, increasing the damage, but decreasing the weapon's attack rating, making it harder to hit. It continues to scale up from there. Burst fire shoots 4 bullets, further increasing the damage while decreasing the attack rating. Interestingly, burst fire mode also allows you to, instead of making a narrow burst at a single target, you can optionally shoot a wider burst at 2 targets simultaneously, counting each separate target as a separate semi-automatic attack. What? That's right, simplified rules for attacking multiple targets? Praised Uncle Zon, am I right? Now, I know the Matrix is already sort of the easiest, least complicated, most streamlined part of 5th edition. I know, but the Matrix has not escaped the massive tidal wave of complication, simplification, washing over Shadowrun. First, marks are gone. That's right, marks are gone. Instead of having to track how many marks you have on a target and then trying to figure out how those marks travel up or downstream in a pan or through a host connected devices, now you just simply hack. You just do the thing you want to do. Want to control a device? Well, there's no crazy rigmarole that you have to go through with getting marks and then deciding, well, should I go for 1 or 2 or 3? Then finally, after getting the marks, now you can control the device, after making another test. Oh, wait, what? Combat's over? Oh well, bummer. Now you just hack the device with a hack action. In fact, all Matrix actions are done directly now without needing to worry about special access first. One small caveat with this is that the quick start rules do have a suspicious wording in it that says, in these quick start rules, you perform the hack action listed below. Now, the reason I say it's suspicious is, does that mean this will be different in the core rulebook? Are you saying that it only works this way in the quick start rules? Maybe, maybe not. Something to be aware of though, it could change. I'm hoping it stays the same. Some more interesting things about the Matrix, there are separate skills for legal and illegal actions. Legal actions will use the electronic skill, while illegal actions will use the cracking skill. Now I'm guessing the intent here is, again, to simplify and allow you to better comprehend which skills you'll be using to do various actions on the Matrix at like character creation when you're building things or deciding what skills to improve. Also, comlinks are capable of performing legal actions, but you'll need a cyber deck specifically to perform any illegal actions whatsoever. Now, speaking of cyber decks, they are much less expensive now, and there's a new type of data jack being introduced called a cyber jack. I'm not a fan of the name, but a cyber jack is sort of like a data jack. It just provides lots of enhanced Matrix defenses that you will inevitably need when illegally hacking with your cyber deck. Magic is changing to feel much more in line with everything else as well. Spell forces are gone. You simply get to decide the damage or area of effect of your spell ahead of time before you cast it. Every spell has its own sort of area of effect, size, and damage value if it does damage listed in the spell, and when you cast it, you can amp that up during the spell casting. And when those spell forces, drain is also being calculated differently. Now, like I said, amping up your spell will impact the drain, but drain is being calculated overall differently. Basically, each spell has a drain value at base, and the difference that you get between the drain value number and the number of hits that you get on your spellcasting test, the difference there is how much drain you will take, period. No drain resist test. You just, if there's a difference there, you just take the drain. You're done. Simple, clean, fun, streamlined. Oh, manipulation spells are no longer sustained at all. You just cast it. You just have to, there's just a duration on the spell description. I think that's awesome. No more sustaining that mask spell, for example. Counterspelling might be one of my favorite changes with Magic. You now no longer have to declare who is affected by your counterspelling ahead of time. It's an area of effect, sort of effect, that provides extra magic defense. And it doesn't require a special skill anymore. No counterspelling skill, just based off your spellcasting skill. That's what you roll for counterspelling now. Finally, there are many, many more changes that we could go through. I'll list a few more things, and then I really gotta go and get working on that Edge video. Next up, healing is a bit easier to understand. Each type of healing, magic, first aid, medkit, and those are 3 separate types. Each of those 3 types can be done 3 times a day, and they don't have to be done in any particular order anymore. So no more teammates getting pissed off that you applied first aid to them before the mage got to cast the heal spell. Driving and vehicle chasing is way cooler now. In fact, vehicle attributes have been redone altogether and made speed and acceleration much easier to understand. I'll tackle that particular thing in a video of its own. Speaking of vehicles though, crash damage has been completely overhauled so that it makes a whole lot more sense. No more semi-truck drivers getting sent to the intensive care unit for running into scooter drivers. Yes, that was a thing, guys. Anyway, there are a lot of things being changed in this edition. It looks like the overall theme is to streamline and simplify. I'm really looking forward to getting to play with the quick start rules and the full 6th edition rules. Really can't wait to see the core rulebook once that's done, and once I've hacked into Catalyst's system, they get into their Matrix host. They've got some really sticky tar baby ice surrounding the node with that core rulebook in it. It's going to be tricky. As I've said already, I'll be diving into more specifics on some of these changes that are being done in 6th edition in future videos. Also, of course, I plan to be doing some GM screen videos, new rules. I'll probably be waiting until the core rulebook starts rolling out, but until then you can expect these types of videos here where I'll dig in and review what I'm seeing, because I am getting a chance to see the 6th edition rules. I'm getting a chance to play the full edition rules, and you guys can see me do it on the Shadowcasters network. The Shadowcasters Network is doing an 8-part live play series with the quick start rules. Actually, no, we're doing the full 6th edition rules now on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Shadowcasters Network. The first episode will air live on Thursday, May 2nd. If you're watching this video on the day that it came out, that's tomorrow, we'll be playing a game GM'd by Mr. Johnson from the Arcology podcast, and we'll be doing that every other Thursday starting on May 2nd. Come get your first chance to see the 6th edition rules in action. We're going to be doing this for a while. We got a unique opportunity to do this before the 6th edition rules even get released. If you can't make it live, then catch it on the Shadowcasters Network YouTube channel after the fact. I will see you guys next time on my rules video on Edge. It's going to be so cool getting to review that system for you guys and give you a sneak peek at it. I'm super excited about this live play of 6th edition. We're getting the cool opportunity to do before it even gets out to the public. So really excited about all this. Stay tuned to Complex Action. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon. Get the new video notifications every time. And check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Shadowcasters Network, where we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. Thank you guys, and bye, chummers.